That day in court, when I was sentenced, I was taken to the holding cell, and from the holding cells, as I waited for me to be transported to Johannesburg Central, that is Sun City Prison. And when I reached the prison, it was a shocking experience to see what did the Lord send me to do there. When I entered there, the prison was over full. There was no beds. There was like 48 beds in a cell, and there was like 108 people, and it was rough, and the smoking, and the cocaine run, and the tuck run, and the Niobe run. Everything in that prison was there. You couldn't even breathe. I slept in a one corner underneath the zinc, not lying down and sleeping, but sitting and sleeping on the concrete floor. The food was bad. Everything in prison was bad at Johannesburg Central. And I started to hate the Lord Jesus even more. For why has He made me say guilty when everything was sorted out? Why did I have to say guilty? Why didn't I just not say not guilty? The prison was rough. Fights happened. At night you couldn't sleep because of the smoking. You couldn't sleep because of you sleeping at the zinc. Everyone who wants to drink water opens the tap, so when do you get a chance to sleep? It was so stuffy in the cell that I would sleep near a smallest ventilation where air came through so I could get that fresh air within myself. I even asked the Lord, why? Why did you say guilty? Why did you make me say guilty? Is this the life you wanted me to serve? Is this the life you sent me to do? I remember it was that one night as I was sitting in the cell and lying down to sleep, when suddenly I heard a voice that came to me, and it said to me, "Never will I leave you, never will I forsake you." Like it went through the one ear and echoed into the other ear, but it ran within my head and it sang all the time, "Never will I leave you, never will I forsake you." How did that words change my life forever in prison? I came out and I started to read the Bible. Well, that time it was new. I had to put a couple of patches through to it. It made a whole lot of notes, what I needed to know as I went through the Bible, highlighted what I wanted, made notes within self what I wanted, and I read the Bible and kept on reading it. But Johannesburg Central wasn't getting better. It was getting more full and more full and more full, and more fights and more fights and more drugs and more drugs. And I couldn't even stand the smoke itself. I wouldn't get enough sleep. I haven't bathed for about 7 days. Well, not bath, but not a real bath where I would clean myself. And wearing the same clothes, there was no change of uniform, nothing. Everything was just about the smokle. A smokle is, if you give me something, I give you something. If you barter with this, I'll do something for you. If you do me a favor, you do me a favor. It ran in my head. It was almost like killing me. It's like I wanted to suffocate and kill myself in there. And then one day there was a draft that called out, and they called my name. But it was a draft going to Boksburg, and I didn't want to go there because I heard a lot of stories about it. And then came the draft where the Lord said it was time for me to get up and go. And I had to obey again. Why am I listening to a voice that tells me to say guilty, and then the voice to say get up and go? And I took the transfer to Zonderwater. And when I came to Zonderwater Correctional Center, and I entered the prison, and I looked around, the prison gave me comfort for the fact that I had my own bed. I thank the Lord for the bed that I had to sleep on. Although I didn't have sheets, I didn't have anything, but I had a bed to sleep on. That night, as I slept on the bed, with no sheets and everything, I just took my top off and I laid my garment overall on top of the bed and I slept on top of it. It was a good thing just to actually just sleep on the bed for so many days. It was almost like 21 days without a bed, 21 days without a proper bath. And as I grew into Zonderwater, I found out the ways, but the Zonderwater was the same: gangsters, fighting, drugs, dacha, smoking. Everything that was in other prison was there also. I still continued my ways. I had my mom and dad bring me a carton of cigarettes and 2 cartons, and I would barter with people. You wash my washing, I'll give you this. You wash my washing, do this for me, I will do that for you. Get me some extra food, I will pay for it and all that. I did all that. That was wrong, because that wasn't in my heart what the Lord wanted me to do. I just knew that there I needed to change myself and change my ways. That's when I said to myself one day, I even called my parents when they came to see me. I was still on the class visit, this thing that's like B group, and when I saw my mom's face for the first time in my life, it's like I wanted her to touch me or touch her face, and I wanted to just say, I'm sorry, or forgive me for what I have done. But at that moment we weren't allowed to even make contact. I explained to them that it's time now, I need to stand up and see what is in store for me. I couldn't make them my dependents. I had to make Jesus my dependence in everything I did. And I told them, please come and see me every 3 months or 4 months or 6 months. It's just that I needed to fend for myself then. I know she cried that day because she thought that I was trying to push her away. But I knew by then that I needed Jesus to take control of it, to take control of my life. I needed to change a lot of ways in my life. For I started to read the Bible, and the Bible started to make sense to me. And the Bible became my backbone in everything I did. Wherever I walked, whatever I did, how I did it, how I would change my life, and what I would do about it.